Hey guys, and welcome back to the Carbon Connection. We are at BMW Midrand once again, of course, our sponsors for today's video, and we got to test drive the M8 Competition Gran Coupe, and what a spectacular car it is. It is really phenomenal at how the BMW has managed to pack so much power and so much comfort and space all in one comprehensive package. And it really boggles my mind why I don't see that many of them on the road. And it has more than enough space for you and your family. Let's take a quick look at the M8 Competition Gran Coupe, talk some specs, and yeah, take it out for a quick drive as we usually do. The M8 Competition Gran Coupe, as well as obviously the normal coupe, is powered by BMW's legendary S63 motor. And of course, we know that is packing a 4.4 litre twin turbo V8. And it makes 460 kilowatts and 750 Newton meters of torque. That means this huge car over here will still blast you from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just 3.2 seconds. As you would have probably seen in other videos of obviously M8s, these are the M8 competition wheels. They are 20-inch right round, and you can see this one is spec'd with the nice contrasting red brake calipers. Carbon ceramics are an optional extra. This specific one isn't spec'd with those though. Moving on to the interior, like with the rest of the G series, obviously that is BMW's highlight in terms of upgrades. They've really worked their magic and made it a special place to be. This M8 has Saphir orange leather. I think it looks really brilliant and makes it obviously pop even more. Although it's so heavily tinted, you wouldn't notice what color seats are in here, unless obviously you're sitting in them. For me, the real highlight of this car is the fact that it has 4 doors, and the sheer size and space that you get over the normal coupe is just amazing. This does have a strict 4-seater configuration, and obviously in the rear you do have access to controlling your climate control, and you've got 2 USB-C charger connectors over here. So the seat being in my driving position, I've got more than enough leg room. I mean, I'm definitely not short in space. I'm sitting quite comfortably. And another nice feature is the sort of Alcantara finish on the roof lining. I think that is super classy and very premium. Everything in here just feels, yeah, like proper build quality. Obviously, the M Sport seats are always a winner. They do obviously compromise a little bit of space at the back, considering how thick they are. But when you're seated in front, the support and comfort that they give are phenomenal. And of course, they look fantastic. The M8 Competition here is also spec'd with the Bowers Wilkins sound system, which obviously gives you a proper theater-like experience. We've also got BMW's laser lights, which are fantastic at night. I mean, the sort of vision that you get and distance that you can see without obviously hindering other drivers is phenomenal. We've also got carbon fiber inserts on the bumper, which is a nice touch. Obviously on lighter colors, you see them pop a lot more. Here it blends in nicely and obviously just gives it a slightly different touch. In true M fashion, of course, we've got 4 exhaust tips at the back, which is obviously a standard, although that is filtering down into the new M Performance models as well. Clearly badged M8 Competition. Of course, this has a little bit more power than the normal M8. As you know, obviously the M8 also has more traditional grills rather than the large ones that would extend down like in the M3 and M4. I think it looks fantastic. Coming back to the color of the car, here's part of the door that's in the sun. I'm not too sure if the camera will pick it up as well as I can see it, but you can see some proper flake, and that's obviously the Sophisto grey showing off. And then moving on to the parts of the car that aren't in the sun, and it sort of just blends in like a normal grey, which I think is cool. Alright, so welcome to the M8 competition Gran Coupe. I'll try and make this a little bit more brief than the previous M2 video. Obviously this car has been around for a while. It's definitely not a new edition or anything like that, but it's the first time I'm getting the opportunity to test drive one and obviously give you guys some insight on what it feels like and take you along for the ride. So as you already know, I've mentioned that this is powered by BMW's S63 4.4 litre twin turbo V8, packing out 460 kilowatts and 750 newton meters of torque. While this is no small car, of course, as you know, it's still capable of doing 0 to 100 in just 3.2 seconds, and it'll actually get to 200 kilometers an hour in just 10.6 seconds, if I remember my stats correctly. If I made a mistake, I'll just pop out the proper specs here. So, the M8, in terms of BMW's numbering and stuff like that, previously it would have been the M6. As you know, I've already done a quick review on the M5 competition, which shares the same power unit, the S63, same 460 kilowatts and 750 newton meters of torque. But obviously, this being the Gran Coupe version of the normal M8 Coupe, looks-wise, it is completely different. I really feel that the sleekness of this car sets it apart from a lot of other cars out there. I mean, just driving around in this, I can already tell that it has a lot more road presence. It's a lot more low-sprung than the M5. It's got the 4-seat configuration, so obviously there's a little compartment, or rather unit, in between the 2 seats, which I've already shown you guys. Space-wise though, it's a real winner over the Coupe, because obviously you have those extra doors, and that really makes a world difference in terms of obviously convenience, getting people in and out, and just sheer size and space. In terms of the boot capacity, you're packing a good 440 liters of boot capacity, so obviously more than enough space for your luggage. Now, even though we've got all that size, all that space, it doesn't feel like a mammoth of a car, even though it is. It's really agile. It obviously controls its weight really well thanks to technology and BMW's amazing suspension. That V8 is a real screamer. This V8 really pulls like a train. It's insane. Look, we've spoken about stats with the S63. You guys know how fast it is. You guys know how much I love the sound of that V8 and that exhaust note. But I think what really stands out for me is how good this car is at being a Grand Tourer. You've got more than enough space in the boot. You've obviously got space for your passengers, and they can obviously lounge there in great comfort and luxury. And I think that's what really makes this car special, is that it can blow your mind on a track, and then obviously pack your passengers in here and drive for thousands and thousands of kilometers. And I think it really sets itself apart in terms of the styling over the M5. I really think this is a true competitor to Merc's AMG GT, Porsche Panamera, and the like. And obviously not forgetting the RS7. The RS7 is a brilliant car, but I would still find myself taking this. But before we sign off, let's just enjoy the V8 a little bit. Obviously, highlight for me being the 460 kilowatts that will obviously blast me into my seat over and over again. And of course, I want you guys to just get a little taste of what it sounds like, what it feels like. And yeah, as always, thanks for tuning in to another video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. The page has obviously been doing some decent growth recently, and of course, that's all thanks to you guys for watching my videos, sharing them. I really, really do appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. So yeah, enjoy some V8 music. Infamous Midrand tunnel.